Hi everyone. Today we are going to work on making a works cited page for your papers. Every time you write a paper like this, you need to let the reader know where you got your information and how they could find it if they were interested. If you were going to include all of the resources that you looked at, even if they never made it into your paper as a quotation, that's called a bibliography. But today we're just going to work on a works cited, and that is just letting the reader know which of your sources you actually used as a quotation in your paper. So as you can see here up at top, I'm going to have you work on a website called EasyBib.com. So if you will go there, and then make sure when you get there that you are on MLA 8 and that you have the website box checked here. I don't think anybody else used a book or a journal or used a database. Just in case you did, you can just hit the drop down and there's lots of other choices, but we're going to stick with website because I think that's what most of you did. So what you want to do is make sure that you have your the links to the websites. You should all have those on each of your paragraph pages. So I just put a bunch on a page right here. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it right here where it says source. And then I'm going to hit the button that says cite. And they're going to just double check with you and say, hey, is this the one that you wanted? And that looks familiar, so I will say cite again. And the first page that pops up, they're going to let you know all of the information that they could find, and then on the other side what they might need some help with because they couldn't find it. So sometimes even though it's sitting right there in front of them, they have a hard time finding it and you have to fill in some of that yourself. So I'm just going to say continue. And on this one, it looks like they found the author. They figured out what website, and of course, since it's WebMD, that's also the publisher, and they also told us what date it was published electronically. So everything I need is there. I'm going to hit complete citation. And you'll notice that all of your sources are going to start to stack up. I was already playing around a little bit, so I've already got one here. So, and then it just takes you back to the box. And I'm going to go in and get the next one, and I'll copy that in, and I'll hit cite, and I'll see, oh, this is delirium. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so I'll hit cite again, and it's telling me that it found these things, but it can't find some other information. So I'm going to go back and look again and see what I have to go figure out. Uh-oh, looks like it couldn't find an author, couldn't find a publisher or a sponsor, but I know that Merck is a drug company, so the name of that sponsor, that publisher is Merck, so I'm just going to put that in there. And it also could not find when this was published. So if you call up that web page, open it up, I have it open over here, I can see that there is an author here, so I'm going to just grab his name. Don't worry about their titles. Don't worry about their degrees because you don't really need those when you're doing the works cited. So I'm going to put his first name in here, and then I'm just going to cut his last name and put it over here. And let's see if I can find out the date that this was published. Sometimes they're all the way at the bottom. So I'm going to go down here and see if I can find a date. And it looks like they at least updated this in 2019. So I'm going to go back. I don't have any other information except for the year, so I'm just going to put in 2019. And then I'm going to hit complete citation. Okay, so you can see them stacking up down here. So I'll go in and I'll get one more. And then you'll just do them for every different, hopefully you've got more than one. It's usually a good idea to have more than one, so hopefully you have more than one source. So I'm going to put this in here and hit Cite. And it's telling me, whoops, double checking, yep, that's the one I want. Here's all the information that they could find, but let's find out what they really need from me. Oh, no author and no year. So let's go find out. So I just happen to have this up. Do I see an author here? Well, not yet, but sometimes they put those at the end of the article. So let's find out. Oh, okay, so there's 3 pages of this. That means if I'm going to go to the end of the article, I have to click through all the pages. So let's go look at the end on page 3 and see what we can find. Well, there's a guy right there. That's who wrote it, or at least he reviewed it. So I'm going to grab his name. And I'll put him in here. And let's see if we can find a year. So he reviewed this on April 13th, 2018. So I will put in April 2018. And I may have to make some changes to this later, because up here it says that he's the author, but he's not really. He's the reviewer. So I'll show you how we can fix that if you get something that's slightly different. So now I have some information over here. Here's all of my sources, all my citations, all stacked up. So I'm going to go up here to where it says Export List, and it says Save to Google Docs. And for you, I've been working on this a while, so I've already signed in. It might want you to sign in first. So just do your password. And then over here's a link that says go to Google Docs. So if you open that up, there is my works cited. And there is a piece of missing information here. At the end, at the very end, you also have to give what day you accessed the website, just so that your reader knows how long ago was this. So after the web link over here, we need to add a piece of information. This is going to be done in the European format. We have to put a date. So for me, today is the 17th of April, or 17th of February. So you're not going to type out the full month. You only need 3 letters, and then you have to put a period. So I'm going to say 17 Feb 2019, and then everything has to end in a period. So we have to do this for each one of your citations. So I'm going to go back down here. This is the day that I accessed all these. So just make sure that you're putting it after each of the web links. And make sure that those 3, that abbreviated month has a period after it. And make sure that your year has a period after it. They're very, very picky. Okay, so if you can get that far, then we can clean up some of the other details when we're all together.